moving forward and changing speed is using two legs. So we want to get, when we start thinking of moving forward in our legs, what we want to do is get it to where we squeeze with both legs and our horse walks. When we want to change that speed, we squeeze with both legs and our horse picks up another gait. So here, I'm going to ask this horse to slow down a little bit. Then I'm going to ask him to speed up, so I'm going to squeeze with both legs, and I want a noticeable change of speed. Doesn't necessarily mean I want to change a gait. I want to change a speed. Then if I wanted to go into the next gait, all I would do is squeeze again, and he would pick up the next gait. So, but that's using two legs to change the rate of speed. And the next thing that I want to go into is the reins. As we go through this book, we're going to find out that our reins are going to mean a lot more than they've ever meant before. Just like our legs are going to mean a lot more than they've ever meant before. Our inside rein is going to be our direction, and it's going to be our head elevation. Our outside rein, and one thing we probably ought to talk about a little bit is what's the difference from an inside rein and an outside rein? An inside rein is the first rein that you pick up. So if you pick up on this rein, that is now your inside rein. So that's going to be your direction, and that's going to be your head elevation. Now that I'm picking this rein up, now this rein is going to be my rate of speed and bend at the pole. So if I want my horse to bend at the pole, that's going to be off this outside rein. If I want to change my rate of speed, I'm going to do that with this outside rein. So that's what our reins are going to do. So the next thing that we're going to go into is one leg, lateral movements. Now, when we were working on changing rate of speed, we used two legs to speed that horse up. But lateral movements is when we add one leg and our horse moves off laterally at a diagonal as he moves forward. So I add one leg and he'll move laterally as he moves forward. So it's really important that our horse knows the difference from us using two legs, which means speed up, us using one leg, which means move laterally. Now, lateral movements could be a lot of different things. It could be to where all we're going to do is move the shoulder laterally. So, if I was going to move the shoulder laterally, my leg would go forward, and I would move just the shoulder, not the hip. If I move my leg back, then what I would be doing is moving the hip, not the shoulders. So if our leg's in the middle, then the horse should be moving away from the leg, moving the hip and shoulder together. So always think of your horse moving away from your leg, not into your leg. Now, when you're doing some movements, you're going to have the horse move around your leg. You're going to hold your leg there to support him as the other leg says move. But always think of it as your horse moving away from your legs. And then the next thing that we want to get into is overusage of legs. Now, overusage of legs can create a dead-sided horse. If you want your horse to where you just move your leg and that horse move right away, then what you have to do is make a promise to your horse is, if I add my leg, then I'm looking for something. And if my legs are off, then you maintain whatever I had already asked you to do. So once you ask your horse to move, then get your legs off and keep them off. And I'm going to come straight at the camera so that you can see my horse does not change speeds, but my legs never touch the horse. And that's really important, that you can get your legs off that horse and your horse maintain the same speed that you were going. And it doesn't matter if it was at the canter or if it was at the trot. Your legs should stay off of the horse as your horse is moving. So I'm going to trot straight at the camera. If you notice, both legs are off. And one. So through all of that, I kept my legs off of the horse. That's what we call cruise control. Cruise control, to me, is a great thing. I don't know about you, but if I was walking along beside somebody, I wouldn't want them to keep pulling on me. I wouldn't want them to keep pushing me. I wouldn't want them to drag me, keep me moving. So when you're up here, think of this as your dance partner. We need to move together. We don't need to pull on each other. We don't need to push each other. We don't need to be aggravating each other. We just need to move fluidly together. So don't get caught up in the trap of overusage of your leg. And where we got into our legs mean moving that horse. We also want to get into our reins will move our horse also. And the easiest way I ever found to describe that is your reins should mimic your legs. So if, let's say I wanted my horse to step off to the right here. If I opened this leg to give him somewhere to go, I opened this rein to give him somewhere to go, and then I brought my left leg and my left hand on at the same time, my horse would know that very first step where I wanted him to go. If you notice, he didn't make a step forward, he didn't make a step back. He knew right away which way to go.